Howdy y'all, Stock Warden here, back with another video. Today's video we're looking at Palantir Technologies, and with all of the crazy news that's going on with Palantir right now, it kind of shows why the stock is still moving up, but still somewhat faltering a little bit in the same sense. So the stock is still moving up, price targets are still up. And as it stands right now, where we ended the day on Tuesday, April the 28th, the stock ended up closing at 141.18 a share. Now, the last two times that we previously looked at this stock back in the beginning of March, and also just a few weeks ago in April, towards the beginning of April, we showed a couple of resistance lines and a couple of bottoms. So, and they are still showing to be a little relevant through today. So, because back in late February, early March, we had two resistance lines where we had a bottom structured at 126 and a top resistance at 137. Now, of course, since then, the stock has definitely made a breakthrough and went above that. And then the stock had also faltered and kind of came down on two hard days back on April 8th and April 9th, which had dropped the stock from its monthly high up from its close roughly at 154 to 155 a share, back down into the 120s. So, but as you can see, if we were to continue these lines all the way across, we can see that it did hold resistance on this bottom from back in late February, to where this shows a good line point. And then if we go back to in the last video where we showed a resistance and a bottom, where we were looking at a bottom of about 147 to 148 and a top ridge line roughly at about 157. So where those two lines are and where the top line is, I would say if we just extended the marker at the 157 line that I had originally posted for the top side resistance on last video, and then if we take a average between the 137 to 138 a share and the 147 148 a share, we can kind of get rid of both of these lines and just make a lot wider and more broad midsection, where we'll be able to come in more on the 140 to 142 line. So kind of make a kind of show you where we're at with that right across the board right here. So we've had quite a few peaks, valleys, drops, breakthroughs. We've had a lot where the stock has been repeatedly playing between the 160 and the 120 price per share, and it's due to a large amount of different traders selling off large sums of shares, and also, you know, people riding that wave down and then riding the steep wave right back up. So this stock does move a lot, which has a lot of people kind of in a negative light on Palantir with how much and how fast it moves. But once again, there is always positive feedback and positive news coming in with Palantir. The only negatives that we've been coming across almost in the past 6 months of this kind of stagnation of the stock, where we come off of our 52-week high of, you know, getting close to $200 a share, and then, you know, now we're back down closer to the $100 a share. So, you know, right now you have USDA and Palantir. excuse me, they have signed a $300 million software purchase agreement. So that's going to be something, that's going to be another boost into their commercial and government market. Then they also have a huge wave coming through with the technological space. So they're saying that it's going to keep a promise of roughly a $3 trillion in value that's going to be split up and added into the tech space. So, and Palantir is one of the front runners of that 3 trillion valuation. So, those are something that's still moving forward. And then on top of that, you also have this big deal that's going on with excuse me, Citigroup adjusting their price target to $210 a share from $260 a share. Now, the Citigroup hasn't adjusted their price target in quite some time. So they've been at a 260 target for a long time. For honestly, I would say the last price target from Citigroup was probably at least 6 months or better. So with them going from 260 to 210 kind of makes a bit of sense, especially since we're catching more and more of everybody getting closer to this $200 a share price target marker with all of these mass share sell-offs that we've been having over the course of the past six or so months. So, but then we also have Cleveland Cliffs has signed a 3-year agreement with Palantir. So, as of right now, the financial terms have not been disclosed between Cleveland Cliff and Palantir. So, but Cleveland Cliff uh, is a company that is going to use Palantir's platform to once again enhance their production planning and also order entry workflows, and aiming to integrate data and anticipate different constraints and improve real-time coordination across facilities. So that's pretty much the MO of Palantir and what their AI specifically does. So, and the Cleveland Cliff stock is technically, they've been pulling back in their trading here lately. So, but it's very possible that they're going to continue surging with this mix with Palantir, because Cleveland Cliffs is not as large of a company, but they are a very scalable company as well. So that's definitely going to be a game changer. So the CEO of Cleveland Cliffs had said that in their early pilot results, they were absolutely amazing. So adding the platform is going to help solve their complex steel making challenges and align with their company's culture and strategy as well. So that even brings Palantir more into a not only a business light, but also that they are more into the not just technology, but also for the people and the career and the outlook of many companies that are trying to scale. So that's something that Palantir has been able to push and pursue for, you know, over a year, well over a year since they've gotten their AI platform pretty well ironed out and stretched to where any scalable business can take their AI and just run with it to make their company that much better without a lot of overhead. So that is still where I stand on Palantir. I still see this stock as a good stock to hold in a portfolio, and also to continue buying when it dips low. So because this stock has still been doing nothing but getting more contracts, getting more money, building more market cap, and just continually beating expectations financially in every single aspect of the way they can beat expectations in the financing department. So, with all that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if there's a stock that you enjoy and or you hold on to and want a little bit more information on, or if you're thinking about buying a stock, but you don't have all the necessary means to be able to dig in and get a lot of the meat and potato information to see if it's a good stock to buy or not, you can drop that in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to help you on different stocks and also with different companies as well, to be able to build into my community and also to be able to make more videos and more content for all of you as well. So this is the Stock Warden riding off. See y'all come back now, you hear?